Guys, today I decided to do a video on flying eagle scents and show you the two that I have and kind of estimate what grade they would get. So let's jump right into it. Let's look at the ones that I have. This one is an 1857. Here's the obverse and the reverse. Next one I have is from 1858. And here's the obverse and the reverse. Even though the date is standing out more on the one on the right, the grade on the one on the left would probably be a tad higher, and let me show you why. If you look closely at the wings on this flying eagle scent, you can see a little bit more detail than the one on this flying eagle scent. As you can see more feathers in this one than this one. And this one, you can kind of make out a few feathers right there, but that's just about it. And on here, you can even see some feathers on the back wing too. And you can see almost the entire wing and its feathers right there. So that's really nice. The grade for the one on the left is for sure higher, and in my opinion, from looking at it and looking at pictures, I would estimate this one being somewhere between very good and fine. And let me show you why. You can easily see the beak and the eye on this one, right there, the eye and the beak. And you can also see a lot of detail on the wing and the back wing, and even some on the tail feather. So in a fine, you can see a little bit more detail than my coin has on the back, on the tail feather, but this coin has a lot of detail right here, and sometimes a little bit more than the amount of detail that's on a very good. And I'll put pictures so you can compare the two. So right here, you can see there's a little bit more detail on the face of the eagle than the detail on the face of the eagle for a very good. So that's why I'm giving it anywhere between a very good 8 and a fine 12. So the deal breaker for it definitely being a fine 12 would be here, and the deal breaker why I think it's over a very good or could be in between a very good and fine would be the face and how much detail is in this area. And not to mention the back feather is very nice with all of its detail also. So the wording is not very much there. It is pretty worn, but that's completely normal for a very good. And some fines does have some wording that is a little bit fading. The one on the right, on the other hand, is anywhere between a good 4 and a very good 8. The detail on the actual eagle is not really there, as you can see. It's kind of there right here, but just barely. This scratch is also taking a lot of value away, which is unfortunate, but it's still a good coin regardless. What is nice on this coin, though, is you can kind of make out the eye and the beak. And the date is also standing out pretty well, too. The words are kind of worn, but not too bad, so that's awesome. So that coin would get between a good 4 and a very good 8. So the value of the one on the right is anywhere from probably, I would give it anywhere between like $20 and $30, depending on who you're selling it to. Maybe, I would say probably $15 and $30, depending on who you're selling it to. The one on the left would get probably anywhere between $25 and $35, maybe $40, depending on who you're selling it to. It really depends on how bad the person wants the coin, where you're selling it, and how good the pictures you take of it are, and just how well the person examines the coin. So the bottom coin is my coin, and the one on the top is the one I found online, and its grade is a fine. So if you look at the head of the eagle on the one online, that's a fine, and mine, they're pretty similar. You can see the beak and the eye pretty well. Also, if you look at the tail feather of the one online and mine, the one online has a little bit more detail, which is a fine, so that's why I gave it in between a fine and a very good. Another factor of why I gave it in between is because the words show up a little bit more on the fine than it does on my coin. Also, the wings on mine and the one online show up pretty similarly, and that's why I like my coin a lot, and it's pretty similar to fine because the wings have a lot of detail. Also, the dates are pretty similar, and the chest on mine has a lot of detail. So the coin on the top is a good Flying Eagle cent that I found, grade being good, and the one on the bottom is my coin, my other one that I give in between a good and a very good. So if you take a look at the wings, they are pretty similar. The good that I found online does have a little bit more detail than mine, but they're still pretty similar. You can also see a little bit of detail on the crease for the wing on mine and the one online. Also, if you take a look at the back feather, they do have a tad little bit of detail that you could barely see. So that's another similarity. What is nice about mine, though, I do have a little bit more wording. It is a little bit easier to see the wording than it is on the one online. And that's why I gave it a little bit better than a good 4, but still not better than a very good. Both the dates show up really well and the heads look the same. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and share. Also, make sure to subscribe and click the little bell. Bye.